Good morning, guys. Thanks so much for joining today. This is our first class in our part 2 Flutter classes. So far we have covered the part 1 classes as shown in the screen, and then we have developed a small project. Okay, so like as part of our UI challenges, we have developed some small project, and then we are going to use the techniques what we are going to learn in part 2, and then we are going to develop a real app. So we are whatever missing parts in UI challenges, whatever missing parts that we have in our project, we are going to fix them by following the concept that we are going to do in our part 2 classes. Okay, so this class is about how to debug your apps. Okay, so and here are the rest of the topics what we are going to cover if you want to go through. Okay, so in this class we are going to cover about how to debug apps. So first of all, what is meant by debugging apps? So debugging apps is like, take a scenario where you have a real app which is used by so many customers or consumers, and then there was an issue that has happened, and then like they will call you or some team who is looking after those issues. Okay, and then they will report that issue. Being a developer, you might be asked to troubleshoot that issue. So once you have that issue which you need to look into, you will actually investigate it. When you are doing that investigation, you might actually need to debug your app. Even the investigation part itself will come into debugging apps. Okay, so there are certain steps which you need to follow, but these are not the fixed steps which you need to follow while debugging your apps. So these are some of the basic things what I know, which I'm going to share with you guys, so that you can come up with your own debugging skills later. Okay, so since this is more specific to Flutter, since the course is related to Flutter, I'm going to discuss about debugging Flutter apps, and then some general tips I'm going to share. Okay, in general there are 4 ways of debugging your Flutter apps. The first one is using the debugging option available in your IDE. Okay, start debugging option. Till now we have only tried this run without debugging option, control plus F5. So control, like just F5 will take you to the debugging mode, which is the one which we are going to explore. And the next option is dev tools. In my previous classes I have actually shown you about dev tools, right? So when you are actually running your app, it will actually show you an icon which you can click to debug your apps. Okay, it will open something called dot tools in a web browser. From there you can actually debug your apps. And then the next one is using a print statement to debug your apps. Okay, so when I say using print statement, that's the starting point of debugging your apps using code, and then you can expand it to many levels. Okay, so something like you will give a flag in the app. Okay, when that flag is enabled, some kind of button, debug my app, when that is enabled, you can actually generate a log inside the phone and then share that with you guys. Okay, that is one way of doing it. The other ways are like, whenever that option is enabled, whatever errors that were occurred, that will be collected into some database, maybe into a centralized server, and then you will obviously have access to that log, and then you will know what is the issue. Okay, that is the programmatic way of debugging the apps. And the last way which we are going to discuss is troubleshooting your apps using the Chrome browser. Okay, or as simple as like Flutter web, we can say. So when it comes to first part, the first point, okay, run without debugging and then start debugging. Also start debugging is the one which we are going to learn now. Okay, so when I open an app and then go with start debugging, you can see that some of the options have started appearing on the left side of the screen. Okay, so this is something which is going to help you with your debugging option. And you can see this is the code. On the code, right, on the left bar you can see some red dots is appearing, right? So this red dot will actually help you to set a breakpoint. Breakpoint means whenever your code is running, if you set a breakpoint to a particular line of code, when that line of code is being executed, the execution will stop over there. Okay, now to be specific, I have added a breakpoint into my code. You can see that I have added to the my drawer class. If you go up, sorry guys, if you go up, the scaffold is having a drawer and then it is calling my animation. If I go to my animation, you can see that my drawer class is called, and then I'll go to definition and I have added a breakpoint over here. So whenever I click on this icon, I am checking whether this point of code is reached or not, or I want to know what is the flow of execution after this point of code is reached. I will just click over here and you can see the execution has stopped here and menu is not yet appearing there. So now what I can do is, you can see there are a number of options. Click on continue, step over, step into, step out. Okay, so continue is something when you click here, all the code is executed. Okay, and then again, see this code is called multiple times only because I am using animations. If I am not using animations, probably it will be called only one time. Okay, so again I'll go back and then again I click here and you can see that code is executed. Now I will use step into F11. So F11 is one of the default way I always use, which will take me to the each line of code. Okay, which will actually help me to understand which line of code is executed one after the other. Okay, so step over and step out, you can check it out. Okay, I'm not pretty much aware of what exact it is, but these are the two options which I am very much concerned. Okay, so this is how you debug your apps using the start debugging option. And if you go below, there is an option debug my code. I can actually change this to, when I click here, you can see that it is showing debug my code plus packages. Packages topic we are yet to discuss, but if you want to debug your code as well as packages, this is something you should try. If I click again, you can see that it shows debug my code, packages as well as SDK. So now I can actually debug the SDK as well. So when I click here, okay, it is executing, right? Let me click on continue. Okay, and then I click F11 and you can see that after icon code is reached, you can see what code of SDK is being called. Okay, so if you are really interested in debugging the SDK, this is something what you should try. Okay, I'm going to click on continue. In general, debug my code is something what you should be using. Okay, and then not only this, if I go here, if I want to know what is the value inside this, okay, I can just go here. Okay, there is no option to add to watch. So what I can do is I can just click here, click on add, and then add something like this. Okay, if I want to remove, I'll just here remove expression. Okay, some of the values I have previously added, that's why I removed it. So this is how you can add it. And all these things, like as you debug your apps more frequently, you will understand most of the stuff. Okay, nothing much important, but this is how you debug your apps using the start debugging option. And the next option is using the dev tools. So you have this icon, right? When you are actually using this start debugging or run without debugging option, you will get this option. and if you click here, it will open DevTools. It says that open DevTools. So this is the DevTools that comes with Android, like Flutter. Okay, that comes with Flutter, and you can you open this DevTools either using the Android Studio or VS Code. This provides number of options that help you to the debug. Okay, one of the option you can see here is the remove hide debug banner. As I click here, you can see that this banner will go off. Okay, it is gone, right? Yep, it came back. So there are number of options here, and the option which we are going to explore is the widget tree option. Okay, select widget mode. When I click on select widget mode, it enables me to select the widgets on the emulator. As I click here, you can see the widget got selected. Okay, some error has happened. Let me refresh it. So okay, let me unselect it. Okay, I have selected some text. Now I can see that what are the properties of text and everything over here. There are some default properties that will be coming along with the widgets, as well as values you set. Let me go to column and go to the layout explorer. And if I want to see how different values will work, this is something I should try. Okay, you can see that the text moved to the other side. If I click on start, it moved to the other side. Like, let me unselect the select widget mode and then try again. So this is how your app will look when that particular part is in center. Okay, so this is how you use DevTools to debug your apps, and there are number of other options, okay, which you can explore all by yourself. And the catch here is, on the first day you will not be using all these options. You might not, like, you don't have to be aware of all these options. Okay, so to whatever necessary extent, just make yourself aware of those steps. Okay, as long as you know that you can do something like this from DevTools, that is fine. Okay, which means that you know that you can use DevTools. Okay, so on day one this knowledge is fine. As days passes on and your app, like when your app goes live, and if you are really concerned about performance, you can start looking into other options. Okay, so I will leave it here. And the third option I said is using, like, programmatically debugging your apps. Okay, as simple as using a print statement. So print statement is something will come very handy when you are actually debugging your apps. So what I will do is, I'll just go to the MyDrawer class, and then I will add something like print 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so now I want to know when this class is actually being classed. Like, I want to know whether whenever I click this button, is this code being called or not. What I can do is I will add a print statement like this here, and then whenever I click here, you can see that something will start appearing in the debug console. Okay, so let me reload it, because that will help me to clear the log. Okay, let me restart again. So now it is restarted. Whenever I click here, okay, the execution got stopped. I will remove this breakpoint and then continue. You can see that this part of code is called 2 times. That's because of animation. If you're not having animation, it will be called only 1 time. Okay, so this, like this, I can add some statements into my code as simple as print statement, and then try to show a message here. So this is a way of debugging your apps programmatically. What else I can do is, I will add something like double double debug. Like, I'll add a global variable where it will have debug is equal to 0, and then I will add a condition over here. if debug is equal to 1, okay, not 0, I will change this to 1. Okay, show this option. So now in this case, because my debug option is equal to 0, you can see that nothing will appear over here. When I change this to 1, okay, and then reload everything and then click the same icon, same menu option, you can see that the same code, this part of code has reached. Likewise, I can actually print other options also, like print animation, like I'm trying to print what's there inside this value. Okay, I will restart it, and you can see there is some value inside that animation dot value. Okay, like this you can actually debug your app programmatically. Here in this case we are getting this value globally, but in real-time apps what you can do is you can actually set, like enable something in settings like debug my app. Okay, when that button is clicked, like enabled, when that checkbox is enabled or radio button is clicked, any action that is performed on your app can be recorded to a log. Like I can create a file somewhere, like file or database, and then record, insert all the stuff over there. Okay, so that I can move that log to remotely or ask user to share, so that you can actually review what is the issue. So when it comes to actual physical device, you don't know what's happening in device, right? Which part of code is being called, what is the value behind it. Okay, you don't know what is the value for animation when you are actually on the physical device. So you can actually create a log or insert into some database and share that to the user, like to the backend later. Okay, it's up to you whether you share it real time or later, whenever maybe whenever there is a checkpoint, you can have a checkpoint like one day sync log every day, like every day, not at that particular point of time, because when you are doing it every time, the user device have to connect to internet each and every time, so you don't have to do that, right? Once in a day you can try to do it. Okay, so that's how you use your programming skills to debugging your app. Okay, and the last option is Flutter Web. So if you go to Flutter Web or Google Chrome DevTools, as I said, you can use Flutter for developing apps for Android and iOS, right? But Flutter has been expanded to, is being expanded to web, Unix apps, desktop apps, and like Linux apps, I guess, not Unix. Unix is the CLI version, okay, command line interface. When it comes to Linux, Linux is the GUI version of Unix. Okay, that part we will discuss later in future. Like when I really share some information about operating system, I will share that information. But actual Flutter is being expanded to across multiple things, which is really very good. So having that options enabled, Flutter Web is something which you can use to debug apps in web browser. Okay, so you have to go through this document, and then there is a, like if you click on this link, there are options on how to enable it. Whether you are having a good computer or slow computer, you can actually enable it and try to explore it by yourself, because whatever options I am going to show you now, that will interest you to check those things. Okay, so this will, if you, whatever I am going to show now will help you to look into web in a different view. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that whatever I'm going to show you now, tomorrow, like whenever you are going to visit some website, this is something which you are going to try. Like whenever you are interested like how these things are done, you can try this option to explore the website and understand the internals of it. Okay, so once this document is followed, I will get an option like this. Okay, Chrome or web server. Web server I am not exactly sure, you can try it. Chrome is something I am interested in using. Okay, so now Chrome is selected. Instead of emulator, I have selected Chrome, and I will stop my app and then I will run it again. So now you can see that it is launching the main.dot file in Chrome in debug mode. Okay, This is not exactly debugging mode, but like we are not actually debugging, right? We're not actually debugging the code, we're just debugging the app. So now you can see that whatever mobile app has opened inside the browser. Okay, when I click on this icon, you can see that menu animation has happened. Okay, so very good, right? Without like writing so much of code, we are able to do this animation. Okay, achieving the same thing in web will be very hectic. Okay, dealing with styles and everything is very complicated. And then about dev tools, right? So how to debug our app is, I can click on this icon, more tools, developer tools. It will open something on the right side. Okay, you can see there is some code available over here. So this code doesn't make sense much because this is a Flutter app. Okay, maybe in future they probably HTML will be shown here, but right now it's not shown properly. Okay, maybe we have to dig very deeper. I really don't know at this point. And then console. If you see console, you can see the values are being print. If you like, it's almost similar to what's being shown here. Okay, in our debugging console, and everything is shown here, which is really very nice. Let me do one thing. Let me go to a proper site to show you some HTML. So I can go here, click on inspect. Okay, let me change this view. I'll come back to that later. So now I have clicked on this docs icon and click on inspect, and it has highlighted the necessary code. I can actually change the color of that. I can see that the class name is navlink. Okay, these are the CSS terminologies. Okay, cascading style sheets. Navlink, I can go to the relevant classes over here, styles. Okay, classes, and then I can change the color. You can see that color is being changed. Okay, it has become red now. Okay, I can color some standard colors. I can get the values of colors from here and use that in my apps also. Okay, so this is how we get the colors. Okay, so it's very difficult, right? We really don't know what is the exact value used for this color. I can just click here and you can see I can get value from here. Okay, so if you explore this for some time, you will be aware, okay, what are these things. Okay, not at the same time, you need to remember that exploring everything is not completely possible, but to whatever extent we need to explore. That's it. And there are number of other options as a sources, network performance. Whenever performance really matters, these are the things which you are going to look into. So these are the cookies. Okay, you can see what cookies are being used. Okay, if you are if you're not dealing with these things properly, for example, if you're having username and password, and if you're not dealing with these things properly, then what will happen is number of other things will be exposed. Okay, so this is how you debug your real apps. Okay, there are other options also, which I'm not going to discuss, but the other option what I want to discuss is, like, since we are mostly concerned about debugging our apps inside mobile phone and we are not getting that option because my computer is slow, I can click on this icon over here. It will actually enable you to view a mobile view of this your stuff. Okay, so after clicking this, just refresh it so that it will actually get you the device styles. Okay, so now you can see that everything is loaded in the mobile view. As I click here, you can see menu appears over here. This is how it looks in Pixel 2. I can change the device, iPad. Okay, this is how this site looks in iPad. Okay, so these options you can actually try all by yourself. Okay, so you can see this button got trimmed, and I need to, which is not a good thing, right? Okay, this is not 100% compatible with iPad. Okay, but even though it is looking good, but this is not 100% looking good. So if I go here, I can try the same thing for this, and I can get the view of how it's going to look on the mobile device. Okay, how this app is going to look on iPad. Okay, so this is how this app is going to look on iPad. For some reason scrolling is not done, that's okay. Here it's working. Maybe it like here the scrolling is not working, right? Okay, it's not working because of the screen issue. Okay, fit to window. Okay, we are already at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so this is how you explore dev tools. Dev tools are very handy when you are actually developing websites, and like it will help you to make number of choices, like what are the color flavors you need to use, what style has been used for the text. Okay, but it's not as very much direct as we do in Adobe XD. Okay, from Adobe XD we are able to get the style very straightforwardly, but when it comes to web, it will be very difficult, definitely, for sure, because styles are inherited from other places and it's very difficult to debug. Okay, even though there are certain things we can get easily, at the same time there are certain things which are very difficult to get. Okay, and I think that's it for this class, guys. Thank you so much for joining. If you are having any queries, contact me through WhatsApp. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.